Hey folks, Coach Kunin here with the first Q&A. Quite a few people have asked me to do a little bit of a question and answer segment, and I'm happy to oblige. So, these are some questions that I got sent via messenger, and DM on Instagram and Facebook. So we'll just tackle a few of them today, and hopefully that they're insightful and can help you achieve your goals. All right, first question. What are your thoughts on most effective cardio for weight loss? Excellent question. Okay, first off, let's talk about cardio. Cardio works the most important muscle. That's it, the heart. So if your heart and lungs are not in good shape, it's going to be hard for you to be in good shape, hard for you to be healthy. So the constant sort of question in the world of fitness and fat loss is usually what's better, what we call steady state, kind of what I'm doing right now, whether that's taking a walk or a swim or on a bike, and you're not really going all out, but you're doing it for a longer duration, versus a higher intensity HIIT style. And people will argue about what HIIT is. There's different parameters on how long you go with full out performance and then rest and full out performance. I like them both. I incorporate them both. That said, neither of them, when we're talking about fat loss, will compensate for a shit diet. So you gotta fuel yourself properly. If you wanna lose fat, you gotta be in a caloric deficit. Burning calories via cardio and strength training will obviously contribute to that. Having more muscle mass, that's why lifting weights is so important, is going to give you a bigger engine so you can burn more fat. So in a perfect world, I like both. I like to walk as many times as I can during the week as time affords. To me, it's meditative. It's something that allows me to gather my thoughts, listen to a podcast, music, do some songwriting, etc. So it's my time. So for me, it's more for the brain. The fact that I might burn off 300 or 400 calories doing it, that's a plus. However, I also like that high intensity interval type training where I might go, for example, on a bike really hard for 30 seconds and then back it off for a determined time, maybe that's 20 or 30 seconds. And I might go back hard, then back it off. And I'll do that for a period of time, and as I get fitter, I can have longer times where I'm pushing and shorter times while I'm resting. So you might do that at minimum once a week. It's great because you can do it in 5 or 10 minutes. You do that, your overall cardio, your conditioning is going to improve, and it also allows you to train harder and faster in the gym, which is a plus. If you're not fit, go try to leg press or squat something for 15 or 20 reps with decent load. Not happening. All right. Next question. My side delts are lacking and need to improve, while my front delts are improving, the sides are not. Person mentions that they're a 26-year-old, they've been lifting for a few years. Okay, when it comes to the world of shoulders, yeah, they're, besides being important functionally, from an aesthetic point of view, the wider that we are, the more of that taper we're going to have. The muscles that seem to grow best are the muscles that you connect best with. If you're 26, I'm still going to be an advocate of you being able to overhead press in whatever fashion that is, whether that's a machine, a bar, dumbbells, doesn't matter, or heavy incline barbell presses. That's also going to add size to your shoulders overall. For the lateral head, you see in a gym, bastardized more than anything else, lateral raises, right? So again, you got an anterior, front, lateral or side, posterior. Do not ignore the posterior, the back of your shoulders, because they bring in that lovely 3D taper. My favorite, and funny enough, I did a video that will be up tomorrow, is a cable lateral raise. Why? With the cable, it's continual tension, constant tension from the beginning to the end. I've never shown someone how to do that movement, had them do it where they didn't feel it. And when you feel it, that's when you get those gains. I promise you, those muscles that you feel the best, go look in the mirror right now, they're the muscles that are most developed. Every time. All right, third question. What are your thoughts about the ketogenic diet? Okay, that's something that I've put a lot of time into. A couple of years ago, I did 6 months in ketosis, ketogenic diet. Things that I absolutely love about it. First and foremost, mentally, dynamite. The ability, when you start actually running on body fat and ketones, as opposed to glucose, I don't know, it's like someone turns the lights on a little bit brighter. You don't have those ebb and flow with energy. You're always, because you're running on body fat, it's great for body fat loss, but just mentally, fantastic. In terms of fat loss, it's very efficient. Why is it efficient? It's efficient because anytime you take away one of the food groups, you know, whether that's protein, carbohydrate, fat, alcohol, what happens? Your total caloric input comes down. You're taking in more calories. You're going to be likely in a deficit. So it's very effective in that regard. That said, I'm not a fan of a lot of the traditional keto as far as tons of lousy saturated fat, living on bacon. Yeah, it's nice, but I don't think long-term it's the greatest thing. I'm going to be more, for the most part, a fan of a balanced diet. But I look at diets like this. They're all tools in your kit. So a low-calorie diet is effective when you want to lose weight. It's effective when you want to manage your blood glucose and insulin levels. So it's great. What were the disadvantages? This will sound funny. Fat loss was almost too much, too fast for me. Performance in the gym, probably 15 to 20% worse. There's something about having muscles full of glucose when you're doing heavy lifting or explosive movements that, for me, resonate. I know there are some endurance athletes that go okay on the ketogenic diet. I'm not an endurance athlete, so I don't really have an opinion on it. All right. Numero cuatro. What is your favorite rep range to train in and why? Okay, this is kind of like the cardio question. What's your goal? What are your genetics like? Do you have a lot of what we call fast twitch fibers, slow twitch fibers, etc.? Is your goal strength? Is your goal size? Is your goal to remain uninjured? Those are all really things that you got to take on board. I'm someone that likes to gain muscle and strength. And because of that, and I've trained everything from power lifter style to 1s, 2s, and 3s to slightly more endurance, 15 to 20 reps. I love 15, 20 reps, often on limbs, legs, and arms. It's still heavy for me at least. Probably across the board, I put a lot of athletes on something called 3 and 9 training, where they would do a compound movement, best form that they could for 3 reps, lighten it up on another compound movement with the same body part. So say you went from incline barbell, you did 3 reps, busted your gut to get that 3rd rep, take some deep breaths, go do some dumbbell presses, the heaviest you could do for 9 reps. Do that a couple times. Wow. People get strong, they put on muscle fast. But again, your body, it's an adaptation machine, so it will adapt to whatever you do, but you won't know if you're willy-nilly about it. So you got to keep a logbook. You got to see what does best for you. We are not genetically predisposed to do the same thing all the time. You're just not. So experiment. You know, you're your own body of work. No one's got the identical sort of setup to you. They don't sleep the same, they don't eat the same, they don't crap the same. So unfortunately, amigo, you're going to have to figure that one out for yourself. I suppose if someone put a gun to my head, and hopefully that's not going to happen, and said, give me a rep range for the rest of your life, well, I don't know, probably 6 to 10. All right, thoughts on training with disabilities. I had a pretty severe accident and have limited leg capacity. Wow, what a great question. I think when you have limitations, the question isn't, what can't I do? The question is, What can I do and what can I excel at? It's been great. I've worked with many years with a good mate of mine, Jared Black, who's a exercise physiologist. So he treats a lot of people with different conditions. I've treated a lot of people with lots of conditions through the years. It's of course different people, and I know the person that sent through this question. Okay, yeah, the legs aren't great. So when we're looking at leg stuff, maybe we're working on what can you do for stability so you can stand better. What can you do for your upper body that if you're on crutches or you're in a wheelchair that you can go better longer. So you might not be able to do a leg press or a squat, but maybe what you can do is kick ass with pull downs, curls, presses, get really rock solid at that. Again, look at some of those Paralympic athletes, how impressive the things that they do despite their challenges and their limitations. That doesn't stop. I mean, when they're doing that, what's happening? Mentally, they're stoked. They got something to look forward to. They're inspired. And I can damn well promise you they're going to inspire other people. So don't look at what you can't do. Look at what you do and kick ass doing it. And that's going to inspire you to just go as far as you can. And then you just have that mentality of, I will and I can. It's kind of like the shirt says, yeah, it's a pretty sexy new tank top. Plan, execute, succeed, repeat. It's not that complicated, but if you have no plan, then it's hard to execute. And if you don't execute, then you're not succeeding. And if you don't repeat that over and over again, yeah, you might make a few steps forward, but then you're going to fall back. So it's no easy way out, but consistency will trump everything, even with a disability. All right. Those are some questions for this week. I hope you gleaned some information. You can either below put your questions for the next one in, or you can message them to me, or yeah, that'd probably be best, whether you're on Instagram or Facebook, or if this goes up on YouTube, and we'll answer them. Next week should have a Shopify storefront up, got lots of apparel, all sorts, tanks, long sleeve tees, t-shirts, hoodies, you name it. We're going to be getting women's clothes as well. Check it out. All right, this is Coach Kunin checking out. Keep training, keep hitting it, keep rocking.